You know you're listening to death metal when you hear the gritty tones of an HM2. The legendary guitar pedal is a staple in the genre, and in this Nail the Mix, Dave shows how he uses the HM2 on bass guitar to create a nasty and powerful tone. Check it out and enjoy.
Let's bring in some bass and guitars and see where we're at. I've done almost nothing to those. There's still DIs mixed in and everything. Yeah, let's just jump in. I find it pretty funny, and I just realized now that I use an E609 on bass 15 years ago because I just very recently rediscovered how sick they sound on bass. And I thought I found a new trick, but apparently I was doing it 15 years ago, and I don't know what happened to that microphone. Bass, I'm gonna bring the DI all the way down for now and just start with the microphones. I think I hear some phase stuff here as well, so let's see if we can get that any cleaner. Yep, sounds better. Sounds simultaneously better and worse, but the phase relationship sounds better. And now we know that we can just dig into these and tweak things and won't have to deal with a constantly changing phase scope. Cool. Found a balance I like of the mics, at least for now. Let's do some basic EQ. I don't love the sound of this DI, but I also now think that all the mic tracks are probably a little too heavily distorted. I think we're using metal zones or heavy metal pedals. I think it was heavy metal, like an HM2, essentially into his bass amp, which is a cool sound, but it's like fucking extreme. I don't love the DI by itself, so I'm a little wary of like busting into the modern tool set stuff. Like, I mean, I absolutely love parallax, but I kind of wanted to sort of stay away from some of these type things in this mix, but I want to try it, see what it sounds like if we blend it in a little bit. Let's see. Okay, gonna have to phase align this as well. Yeah, bass sounds better with the phase on. It's always tricky. Like, yeah, it's the same DI, but they're going through essentially two completely different, very heavily gained stages. So sometimes Autoline doesn't do a great job in that case because they're like totally different distortions. So there's not a lot of like cohesiveness then, but it does seem to sometimes be able to bring the low end out a little better. And I was just hoping for something to blend in that'll give us a little more note. Like the extreme bass distortion is cool for the vibe, but there's not a lot of like of that like tonal note coming through. So looking through for a little more of that. Let's see if we can make that happen. I think so. There's the honky thing in here though that I don't love. That's not vibing. It's about 1/6, so maybe we can get it here. Again, so like we were talking about gain staging earlier, I have my three main sources. So at this point, I'll double check gain staging at the mix bus emulation that I have on the bass thing to make sure we're not going too crazy. And I think we're in a good spot. It does work really well. This is another thing I like kind of learned from Cephalic, and I went pretty hard with bass distortion for a while after this. I've probably expanded my repertoire a bit since then, but I still love some gritty bass.